Hey y'all, what's up? I'm here for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 1, The Reunion Part 1. Let's talk about the looks a little bit. Karen was okay. Well, let me start off by saying this. I wasn't like wowed by anybody, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I was at prom. But Karen, I liked her hair, you know, like I've said before, I like that lighter hair on her. It suits her better, it brings out her features better. Liked it on her. Katie was alright. She just had her hair going back, you know, in this ponytail, whatever. Charisse, I didn't like what she had on. No. Her hair looked, you know, it looked somewhat better compared to this entire season. Giselle, vomitrocious. I didn't like nothing she had going on at all, honey. Like, that hair, well, I mean, well, fuck. I mean, her hair has been it's pretty much the same as it's been all season. Jacked up. You know. I wonder if that boy that, you know, is her friend or whatever, that's supposed to be her stylist, did her hair on this damn reunion. Child, I guess. But, didn't really care for her dress too much. Those, and I mean, the earrings that, I mean, the dress wasn't bad. It was alright, but the earrings that she had on, it just, what was that? Like, it looked like she was about to, them earrings look like earrings that your grandma would wear going to church or something. And it didn't go with what she had on. Like, what the hell? Robin was alright. Her hair was a little bit much for me, but it was something different for her. Ashley was okay, you know, I liked her hair and everything. It was, you know, straightened or whatever. Let's get into it. And I'm watching the episode on demand, so, you know, I'm recording I'm pausing it and, you know, recording, you know, during the commercials or whatever. I'm trying to do something new. So, you know, Karen, you know, they start talking about, you know, some of the responses that they've gotten from people on social media and everything, and, you know, like how somebody said, like, you know, isn't it bad etiquette to call out, isn't it bad manners to call out other people's etiquette or something like that, the person has said. And, you know, Giselle agreed with the comment, but, you know, Karen was like, if I'm your friend, I'm gonna call it out or whatever. And, you know, Ashley was like, well, what if, you know, we're not your friend or whatever? What, you know, what if it's a stray or whatever? And Andy, he was like, yeah, Karen, you know, you called Ashley a stray and everything. And Karen was like, I didn't call her a stray or whatever. And Ashley was like, I mean, you said it on the TV. And then, you know, Karen was like, you know, I didn't call you a stray. Like, pretty much she was like, if the shoe fit, then wear it. But Karen, girl, you know damn well you was talking about that girl. Like, cut the bullshit. But they also, you know, was talking about, you know, Karen's mole on her face or whatever, how people were saying that she needs to cut it off or, you know, and all this other stuff. And, you know, she was like, I loves me some Karen or whatever. And this is a beauty mark and everything. I was like, Karen, no, it's a mole. It's alright, though. This is a beauty mark. That on your face, yeah, that's a mole. But it's alright, though, because I actually like it on you. I really like the mole on Karen. Katie was talking about how, you know, pretty much people was, you know, trying to basically make her seem like she was desperate to get married. But, I mean, that's what you presented on the TV, my love. You did seem desperate to get married. Like, you was trying to haul ass down that altar. You know what I mean? Andy, you know, he noticed that she didn't have the engagement ring on her finger, and she was like, well, you know, I did give the engagement ring back, yes, you know, the day before the reunion and everything. Charisse said that she was kind of glad, you know, only because she felt like Katie was, you know, rushing into it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and like, you know, how she felt like it has to be like this family unit kind of thing. So she just feels like she was rushing into it. Ashley asked, were they still together? And, you know, Katie just said that the engagement is off, but she didn't really clarify if they were still together or not. You know what I mean? They all said they would have kept the ring or whatever. And, you know, Andy, he was like, isn't that bad etiquette or whatever? And Karen was like, no. She was like, I keep the ring and customize it for myself or whatever. I said, hey, I ain't mad at her now. I mean, personally, me, I would give the ring back. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like Wendy Williams, like her whole outtake on it. It's like, yeah, it's easy to just keep the ring because it was given to you. You know what I mean? But it's even better when you give the ring back, because that shows that, you know, you can. It shows you don't need that stupid ring or whatever. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how I feel. It shows that you don't have a hold on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm explaining it, but yeah, you know what I'm trying. Yeah, I know what I'm trying to say, but yeah. What else happened? They also was talking about how you know, Karen is like the queen of Potomac and all this other stuff. And, you know, Karen was like, you know, and she was like, let's talk about these nicknames that Lady Eloise and all this stuff. You know, she was like, I'm Karen, and that speaks for itself or whatever. And Karen, I do feel like Karen can be a cool person, but she do have her ways with her. It's like you take 2 steps with Karen, then she push you 5 steps back with her fuck shit. You know what I mean? And she talks about her how, you know, Uncle Grandpa Ray hates it when you know, she calls him the Black Bill Gates and everything. And Sharice was like that's how she introduced herself when she first met her. She was like, hi, I'm Karen, and I'm married to the Black Bill Gates. And, you know, Sharice was like, hey, I don't want to fuck with this bitch no more. But, you know, they on the stage together or whatever. They talk about how, you know, how Katie pretty much shaded the old gala event or whatever. And, you know, Karen was like that, you know, well, let's talk about your non-event or whatever, Katie. She was like how you just show up to events and just to take pictures or whatever, and open up your wallet and everything. You know, something like that Karen was saying. And, you know, Giselle, she was like, yeah, I mean, you sitting up here, you know, talking all this stuff, but, you know, you fired us from an event that never happened and everything. And Sharice, she was like that she does a lot of things. She goes to a lot of events and stuff like that. She knows that Katie does stuff or whatever. But but yeah, just see, Katie seemed like the type of person though that just wants to get credit for doing shit. You know what I'm saying? She don't really seem like her heart. She don't seem like one of those type of people where her heart really is into the shit. You know what I'm saying? Into the event. She just want to, you know, receive credit for doing shit for people. And I don't like people like that trying to get some humanitarian accreditation. Bitch, please. What else did I want to say? Karen also felt like Katie should apologize to everybody that has Alzheimer's, because, you know, Karen was like that you knew that this was just like a little cocktail party or whatever for the launch of the big, you know, old gala event or whatever. And you know, Katie was like that she don't feel like she needs to apologize because, like, that has nothing, like, she was like the people of Alzheimer's have nothing to do with this conversation, pretty much. That's what she was saying. So Karen says that you know, the old gala is going to be launched in 2 years, and it's just a lot of stuff that has to go into it, and they have to raise money and all this other stuff. They talk about whether Karen ushered in Giselle into the whole Potomac world or not. Giselle was like, you definitely did not usher me in. She was like, you know, people already liked me or whatever. She was, you know, Karen was like, well, you know, people didn't like you at first or whatever. Giselle was like, no, they definitely did. She was like, I was me regardless, you know what I'm saying? And they liked me for that or whatever. They start talking about Karen's wandering eye, you know, like how she is down for some eye candy or whatever. And she says that it helps her marriage to Uncle Grandpa Ray or whatever. And you know, they start saying, well, you know, they ask, well, can he look or whatever, you know, at like other females and everything. And she starts to answer, and everybody was like, hell no, he can't or whatever, because she will go ape shit and all this other stuff. And, you know, she was like, well, you know, because everybody wants Ray. And, they all was like, no. And I was looking like, hell no. The fuck? Girl, I mean, yeah, the nigga got money, but that's about it. That's all he good for. And what else they say? So Ashley, she was talking about that scene where, you know, where Karen and Ray was talking about how, you know, they finally gonna have the house to themselves or whatever. And, you know, when he followed her into the house and everything, you know, she was like, you know, it was something that Karen had said, and, you know, she was like, that Uncle Grandpa Ray, you know, didn't even know what she was talking about or whatever. And, you know, Karen, she was like, well, I hope that you have, that Michael, follows you, years from now behind you in the crib or whatever, if he lives that long. I'm like, she got the nerve to be talking about Michael like, Uncle Grandpa Ray ain't been here since 400 BC. I said, girl, you tried it. You tried it with that. Ashley should have shaded the fuck out of her for saying that shit, for real. Talking about something, he lived that long. If your husband lived that long, fuck you mean? Anyways, they start, you know, talking about Karen's kitchen. You know how everybody's saying that for her to have all this money, that she should have an updated kitchen and everything. And Katie, that damn Katie, ooh, she got a bad aura with her. You know, because she was just shading Giselle. You know, Giselle, she starts talking, you know, because Karen was like, you know, my kitchen is for me or whatever. So, like, don't worry about what I'm doing in my kitchen. And, you know, Giselle, she starts talking about how her house is for her girls and all this stuff. And that's when Katie was like, yeah, you know, you're renting your house or whatever. I was like, and Giselle ain't say shit. I was like, you gonna let that slide? I said, But anyways, what else happened? They start talking about how, you know, Andy, he said, you know, how Giselle's the word on the street or whatever. And Katie was like, in what world or whatever? She was like maybe out in the backyard or some shit like that. And everything, you know, Sharice, she pretty much co-signing like, yeah, I don't know what world that she's the word of the street on or whatever. And Katie was also saying, and Karen being the grand dame or whatever of Potomac, that's a lie too. And, you know, Karen was like, well, no, I am of this group. And Katie was like, no, you're not or whatever. And they started talking about Andrew, because they was talking about Andrew through this whole thing too, where you know, when Andrew was talking about, you know, making the remarks that he made about Karen or whatever, and they started talking about, you know, how he lost his digit, or also known as his finger, and he, you know, they started making fun of that. And Katie, she was going off like he lost it in the car accident, and for you to sit up here and make fun of him and da 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 whatever, you know, yeah, it's just that was a mess. They look, you know, at Ashley's season on the show or whatever, and Ashley, she admits that it is hard, you know, opening up a restaurant is harder than what she thought it was going to be or whatever. I said, girl, you ain't been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you not see Cynthia and Peter situation? Well, at least you and Michael's marriage is still good, so, you know, yeah. No tea, no shade, but they start, you know, a fan had asked about Ashley helping her mom, like that should have been her first priority when she got married and everything. And, you know, Ashley was explaining that she does help her mom, but as we see on the show, her mom is prideful and everything. You know, she doesn't really want nobody to help her for real. You know, they start talking about the comments that Giselle had made about Ashley, like, you know, with her hair, you know, the big, you know, her big hair and everything. And Giselle, you know, Ashley was like, you know, for you to sit up here and touting about being black and proud all the fucking time, but then your hair is over processed and shit like that and everything, and you know, and you know, you got green eyes and all this stuff, and you know, Giselle was like, well, I was born with these green eyes or whatever, and I forgot what she said about her hair, but it's like Karen, Lord, Giselle, you do kind of like, you do be like on this black and you proud shit, but I do feel like you play on the features that you have too, the green eyes, and then you know, you got the extensions or whatever. I don't know how much of her hair is real or how much of it is fake, or if she has a full weave in her hair, but you know, you do play on that you know, the look that you have, you know what I'm saying, because you don't look like I guess what some people would say, the ideal black person, you know what I mean? So I feel like you do kind of play on your looks a little bit, but then you want to be on this whole I'm black and I'm proud kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? It seemed like these hoes hate each other. Like, shit, what happened to the Kumbaya session at the season finale? But anyways, Ashley feels like that there's some hateration and holleration going on, you know, between her and the girls or whatever. And, you know, Giselle feels otherwise. She feels like she ain't hating on Ashley. And Karen feels the same way. Like, she was like, absolutely not, you know. You know, and Ashley, she brings up when Robin had said, you know, when Giselle meets a pretty girl, that she gets jealous or whatever. And Giselle, like I said, Giselle says that she wasn't hating on her or nothing like that. She has nothing for her to hate on and everything. Now, I feel like the girls do, maybe not necessarily hate on her, but they always just kind of like nitpicking at her because she's the young one of the group, you know what I mean? They just trying to find every little thing to pick on her with, you know. Robin, she, you know, they started talking about when Ashley was humping on Robin the first day she met her or whatever, and Robin was just pretty much going off on her, saying that you don't do that on the first day you meet somebody. You're not going to do that when you meeting with somebody at a realtor or something like that. She was saying at a restaurant or whatever, and Ashley was like, duh, that of course I'm not going to do that. That's business or whatever. Like, come on, you know what I mean? It seemed like Robin all of a sudden, like, she was just turned up about that situation when the situation initially happened. She didn't seem all that mad about it. You know what I mean? But now it seemed like all of a sudden she was just really irritated by it, and I didn't get that. Giselle says that she says that she didn't call Ashley a thought. She said that she was acting thought-ish. But to me, the way you was coming off, you still was trying to call her a thought. You know what I mean? And Ashley says that she would never say that about another woman or whatever, and that Giselle is classless. And you know, I don't feel like Ashley is a thought, and I don't think, you know, what she did was thoughtish. I mean, it was kind of weird for her to be doing that on the first day meeting somebody, but I mean, for them to sit up here and call that girl a thought, like, come on, like, that wasn't really called for something like that. You know what I'm saying? Katie feels like Giselle just doesn't like Ashley. She didn't like her off the rip. They start talking about the whole beach house situation where there wasn't no AC and everything, and you know, Ashley claimed she didn't know and all this stuff, and you know, but Giselle was like, yeah, and I told you, but you didn't do nothing about it. Now, personally, me, if I'm staying in somebody's house, I'm not about to sit up there and sitting there in some hot ass heat all fucking night. The fuck? Like, y'all should have went to Ashley's room and let her know what the fuck was up right then and there. No, y'all gonna just go to sleep in the shit, or attempt to go to sleep in the shit. It didn't bring it to her the next day. Fuck out of here with that. No, that problem would have got fixed that night. Fuck out of here. Something would have been done. You know, anyways, Katie is the only one that's invited back to the beach house, pretty much. They all, like, you know, what the question is, do we want to even go back? You know, whatever. They start talking about the whole crabbing event that Sharice had at her party, and, you know, she says that she didn't say that Kyle could do her hair. Karen says that she could see how that whole situation could be misconstrued because Sharice did say, yeah, when Kyle was like, do you want me to do your hair or whatever, she was just kind of like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it did kind of seem, when you do look back, it did kind of seem like she was just trying to be nice and just kind of brush him off a little bit when she said that she wasn't necessarily saying that for real he could do her hair. It was like, I mean, he been doing Giselle hair for all this time. I wouldn't want him to do my damn hair neither. But then again, I mean, Sharice, your hair ain't been looking no better so this season. So, but anyways, what else they was talking about? They talk about Sharice's, you know, hood comments towards Giselle, talking about she can go back to Baltimore with that and all the other stuff. Giselle feels like that she was being offensive or whatever. Sharice was like, you know, no, like, I would say that to anybody, like, you know, no matter where you live at and everything. And she was like that. I went to school in Baltimore or whatever. Okay, so if you went to school in Baltimore, why would you say some shit like that? Talking about some that you wasn't saying it like, you know, like that or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just, girl, please, okay. Anyways, because to me, I feel like that was a crock of shit. I did feel like you was trying to be offensive when you said that. But anyways, I mean, but Robin, she's from Baltimore, and she said that she wasn't offended. So, I mean, hey, you know what I mean? But shit, I'm from DC, and I'm offended. It's like, no. But, anyways, what else happened? They also talk about how Karen called Giselle's friend to help or whatever. And Karen was like, y'all know how my mouth can get. And that was the best thing that I could call him. She was like, you know, my first job was at a Burger King and everything. Robin, she tries to throw shade because, you know, they asked her, you know, did you wear the headset, you know, at the drive-thru? And she was like, yeah, I wore the headset and everything. Robin tries to throw shade, talking about something. They didn't have headsets back then or whatever. And Karen was like, oh, Robin finally has a voice. And I felt Karen on that because it do seem like Robin does shadow behind Giselle. Like, to me, I feel like Robin does have a personality or whatever, but at the same time, she does shadow behind Giselle. You know what I mean? It's because like I said, I felt like initially, she wasn't upset with Katie. She wasn't like really pissed off about Katie humping on her. She just felt it was kind of weird. But then we get to the reunion and you just big mad about the shit all of a sudden, like, fuck out of here. So they talk about, you know, how Karen gonna sit up here and cause a scene at Sharice's house or whatever when Sharice had the crabbing event, but she didn't cause a scene at her own event when Giselle sat in the middle seat for her birthday or whatever. And, you know, Sharice does agree that she felt like it was inappropriate for Karen to cause a scene at her house or whatever. And so Karen attempts to apologize, talking about some, Sharice, I apologize if that offended you or whatever. Andy called that shit out right away. He was like, hold on, Lady Eloise. He was like, you know, what is, you know, is that really a real apology? Like, he's like, what is up with this if I offended you stuff or whatever? Like, if you're going to give an apology, own up to what you did. You know what I'm saying? Don't say this if stuff, if I offended you stuff. You know, pretty much that's what he was saying. And Karen was like that. She said it like that because she don't know. No, before I say that or whatever. Andy was like, that's the thing with the Real Housewives franchise. Y'all, you know, sit up here and say if it offended somebody, giving these half-ass apologies. And that is true. From, you know, we seen on Real Housewives of Atlanta too. You know, motherfuckers up there talking about something if it offended you. No. Own up to what the fuck you did. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, Karen was like that. I said it like that, you know, because I don't know if it offended her or not. You know what I'm saying? Well, if she's telling you it, I mean, she did say that, you know, she felt like it was inappropriate. So clearly she was offended or she felt some type of way, Karen. Like, come the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? And Sharice was like, well, do you want to try it again or whatever? And then Karen was like, no. And I was just like, oh my God, you know. They talk about Robin or whatever, and, you know, in her relationship with Juan. And she says that he doesn't date anyone. She says she doesn't date anyone, and she says that he doesn't date anyone that she knows of, but she would be jealous if, she found out that he was and everything. And she says that she loves him, but she's not in love with him. So Robin says that Juan is still in love with her or whatever, but like I said, she's not in love with him at this current moment. She talks about him being an NBA player, and how a lot of them are unfaithful, and he was unfaithful multiple times, not just the one time that she talked about on TV. She pretty much turned a blind eye, and it was just a build up over time. And she did say that they have sex weekly, but it's not passionately. You know what I'm saying? But she does kind of hope that maybe in the future, she can't see in the future them being remarried one day. I kind of feel like Robin is still in love with him, because my thing is, you sit up here and say that you would be jealous if he, you know what I mean, was going out with other females or whatever. I feel like if you only just had love for him, you wouldn't be jealous about him. Only time you get jealous about somebody going out with other people is if you're still in love with them. So I feel like Robin is still in love with him. She just don't want to admit it because of everything that they went through. And it's like, you would divorce him just to still be having sex with him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just for y'all to still act like a couple. But she did say that, the friend that, took money from them or whatever, he, is more to the story. He ended up killing himself after everything was revealed or whatever. And she did say it brought her and Juan closer. And, a question was asked, of Ashley, why would Ashley, Google somebody or, try to make fun of Robin or whatever when her mom is going through financial situations. And Ashley says that, she Googles people all the time or whatever. And, but it was wrong that she, made fun of the situation because she didn't know the severity of it. And, Robin felt like that Ashley had joy spreading her business to Katie and everything. And, Katie, she interjects and she brings up, because Giselle, she started giving her opinion or whatever. Katie interjects and was like, well, Giselle, pretty much like, you got the nerve to be fucking talking because you sit up here and you gossip. You're the gossip queen or whatever. And, she was like, you sat up here and pulled up my blog or whatever, this, that, and the third, and you found joy out of that. Giselle was like, okay, well, that was something that you wrote, that you put out there, or whatever. Katie was like, that's just, how, Ashley brought up, Robin's, information or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Katie, that's not the same. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone and shit. But Katie, that's not the same thing. Your blog is something that you put out there. Robin didn't put her business out there. It was found out and it got put on the blogs. It's completely different. So cut the bullshit, okay? You know what I mean? And they also talk about, Giselle and how she, pretty much generalizes too much about what black people do. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And Giselle, she owns up to the fact that she does maybe generalize too much and make it seem like all black people think this way about swimming and all that other stuff, So they get into this conversation about race and everything, and Katie feels like that Robin and Giselle acts like as if she walks around with the meter every day, like, determining how black she's going to be today and everything. Giselle feels like that Katie tries to downplay her blackness or whatever, or her black side and everything. And she was like, I don't care if you're 1% black or 50% black or whatever. She was like, own that and everything, embrace it or whatever. And Giselle is like, you're not proud to be black or whatever. And she was like, with Robin, you gonna sit up here and ask me, what kind of, what boxes my kids gonna check when they get older or whatever. She was like, that was a stupid question to ask or whatever, this, that, and the third. And Robin told her to shut up, like, I asked you a simple question or whatever. And that damn Katie, I tell you, boy, she got some shit with her. She just always gotta sit up here and get hostile or whatever when somebody's asking her a simple ass question. She always gotta be on the fucking defense. You know what I mean? And Robin had said something to her, like, she was saying something like, let me tell you something or whatever. And Katie gonna tell me something, what, you're not biracial? And then, Robin, she goes the fuck off. And, she was like, y'all better get security up in here. And it's like, I'm not a biracial woman, but I understand, because it's like, Katie, if they're telling you they're not biracial, that's what the fuck it is. Both of their parents are black. So therefore, they are not biracial. Now, they may have ancestors down the line that may be white, but when it comes to the immediate part of them, their parents, who mama, their mama, their vagina they came out of, you know what I'm saying, and they daddy's sperm, they're not considered biracial. They're considered African American. Although everybody is mixed with a little bit of something, but y'all get my drift here. You know what I mean? And it's like, it is offensive for you to keep on sitting up here and pouncing on them. You're biracial and all this stuff, and you know what I mean? And it's like, now I don't, like I said, I did say in the season finale that I do, I kind of, looking back, I do feel like Katie is not unproud of being black or whatever, or she doesn't embrace it, but sometimes she does kind of act like, like she a little bit more, like she's just more embracive of her Jewish side versus her black side, instead of being equally embracive of both of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she, sometimes she do kind of make you look like, but I guess we're gonna get more into that next week or whatever. I'm sorry that this is late, you guys, but make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys come back, and I will see you guys in the next video.